Hello, good morning to you all. Okay, so today I would like to take you through some questions under public finance, okay, particularly under the imposition of tax, okay. And the question is, assuming the government of Ghana imposes a tax of 8 Ghana cedis on fuel, given the demand and the supply function of what fuel as. Let's say the demand function is giving us 130 minus 2p subscript D, okay, and the supply function is giving us 10 plus 0.5 p watt subscript X, okay. So even for instance, even if I didn't indicate whether this one is QD or what QS, you can use some scenarios here to know whether the first one is the demand function and the second one to is the supply function. How? You have to consider the slopes, okay. You have to consider the slope of the curves. You see that we said demand has a negative relationship with what price and what quantity, and supply has a positive one. So we consider here, you see that there's a negative here, meaning the price is negatively related to what quantity, and there's a positive sign here. That means the plus sign shows that price here is what positively related to what quantity was supplied. Okay. So right now let's go to the question. So find the pre and the post-tax price and quantity of fuel. Okay. So what do I mean here? If I say price, this one pre and post-tax price and quantity of fuel. The pre simple means here means before, and the post simple means that after. So what is the price and the quantity before the government imposes the tax on fuel? Okay. And what is the price and quantity after the government imposes the what? The tax on what? Fuel. Okay. So right now let's take our solution. So I said before the imposition of the tax, equilibrium is just equilibrium equals quantity demand equals what? Quantity supply at any equilibrium point. Okay. So that's before the imposition of the what? Tax. Okay. So you have to know that that's that before the imposition of the what? Tax. Okay. So right now, I'm saying that you know that our quantity demand is here and our quantity supply too is here. Here, I'm just going to equate them together and group like to what times, okay? So 130 minus 10 will give me what 120, and 0.5p plus 0 plus 2p will give me what 2.5 what p, okay? So just group like terms and we are done, okay? So right now let's come and simplify everything here. So 120 equals to 2.5p, and we divide both sides by 2.5 so that we get our price. So 120 divided by 2.5 should give us what 48 Ghana cedis. Okay. Remember, price or that's in monetary terms, okay? We measure it based on our currency. So price, you should remember that's in monetary terms to just add your currency value, and we are in Ghana, so Ghana cedis, okay? Remember, don't leave the unit. It's a unit. Sometimes they might even award you for indicating that, okay? So it's very important for you to do that, okay? It's very, very important. So let's go to where the next. So this is our price when the government refuses or when the government did not impose any tax. So what is the quantity when the government did not impose any tax on fuel? Okay, this is what I said. I said put 48 Ghana cedis into any of the equation and we are going to get your equivalent quantity of fuel before the imposition of the tax. And when we get our this one 130 minus 2p, and p here is 48, and we have our final answer to be 34 liters. Remember, fuel liters, we are dealing with what? Liters, okay? This is the unit. Remember to add your unit and be free, okay? Remember to add your unit and be free. So this is now where the work is now coming, okay? So after the imposition of the tax, what is the equilibrium price and what is the equilibrium quantity? So that's where we are now going. So after the after tax what equilibrium. So after the government imposes the tax, what is the price consumers are going to pay and what is the price producers are going to pay? Okay. So after the price, the producers are going to what pay this one. So the producers price is now going to be what consumers price minus the tax. Okay. Consumer's price P minus the tax. So right now we know that this is our producer's price, that is P minus what Q, okay. So put this PS, okay, that is PD minus 8 into the supply what equation to get your new supply what equation. So putting here it here, we expand everything. 10 plus 0.5 PD minus 10 0.5 multiplied by 8 will give us 4, and 4 minus this will give us 6. Okay, 6 plus 0.5 PD. And this is our new supply what function. Okay, and we know at equilibrium as usual. Okay, as usual, quantity supply equals to quantity what demand, right? And our quantity demand, nothing has happened to it. So 130 minus what? 2P D equals to 6 plus 0.5 PD. That's our quantity supply, our new quantity supply. And when we do 1 minus group like times 130 minus 6 to give 130, 124, right? Equals to 2.15, because if this 2 comes here, it becomes plus. Okay. When we divide it by 2.5, we get a price of 49.6 Ghana cedis. Okay. So now, what is the quantity suppliers are going to produce and producers are also going to package? Okay, so right now put 48.6 into the quantity supply to get what consumers are willing to buy. Okay, and that will be the 30.4 liters. Remember to add the liters. And what is the price consumers are going to pay, and what is the price producers are going to receive? Okay, remember the consumer's price is the one PD. That will be give us 49.6. And remember, I was said our producer's price is going to what? PD minus 8. And we know our PD, that is what? 49.6. And when we subtract everything, we are going to get 41.16. Okay. And that will give us our what? Producer's what? Price. Okay. So let's illustrate this one into the diagram and we see what we have. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay. This is it. Okay. So this is our supply function, our initial one, and this is our demand function, the initial one. And this is our supply function after the imposition of the what tax. Okay. So here from this point, this one is the what the equilibrium point before the imposition of the what tax. And we have the quantity to be what 34 and the price to be 48. Okay. When the government imposes the tax, we see that consumers are now going to pay 49.6 and producers are now going to pay 41.16. Okay, so if we subtract which one would, let me say 49 point this and this one minus this, which of the two economy again will pay more? That one depends on the elasticity of the demand. But looking from this diagram, we can see that this rectangle, let me do something from here. This one here, from here, everything is the what tax revenue generated by what consumers, and this one is the tax what revenue generated by what producers. Okay, and this box here, red box here, is the what dead weight what loss. Okay, as a result of the imposition of the what tax. Okay, as a result of the imposition of the what tax. Okay, because of time, I'm not using this one like subscribe this one uh, website, so my time is only limited to 10 minutes, and I'm sure that 10 minutes is almost up, so I will stop here and maybe I'll continue with the necessary part. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.